So I'm going to set this up for you guys. For those of you who haven't read, this is a scene about 2/3 of the way into the book, but it's not very spoilery. So that's why I chose it. And as I mentioned before, the book opens with Cody receiving this suicide note and finding out that her best friend has killed herself, and this sort of quest that she has to find out what happens. And so she goes on these message boards that, well, she winds up inheriting Meg's computer and discovering that Meg was on these message boards. And she finds this one person who she believes was responsible for Meg taking her own life. And now she is on a road trip from Shitburg, the little town she lives in eastern Washington, down to Laughlin, Nevada, which is where this guy lives. And she's going with Ben, who was Meg's fling before Meg died. So Cody's got some very complicated feelings for Ben. They both feel like they have some culpability here. And then Stoner Richard, who was one of Meg's former roommates, who, as his name implies, is kind of a stoner. He's also the son of a reverend, and he sort of lives in this big family that's very kind of warm and loving, very different from the families that Cody and Ben have. And they've just had a barbecue at his house, and they are now sitting around the campfire. And do any actorly things you guys feel like doing? Flourishes if somebody tosses a beer can, as you're about to do, Stoner Richard, feel free to toss a beer can, okay? All right, you can just make one up. Exactly. You don't, Alice is gonna toss it for you. All right, are you guys ready? Are you ready for this? Go for it. Excellent. Bonus points for American accent. All right, here we go. The firelight crackles. Richard finishes his beer and stashes the empty in the bushes.
You want another beer?
He asks us. Ben shakes his head.
Better not. We have a big drive tomorrow.
He looks at me, I nod.
So where are you going exactly?
What regional accent is this? Americana, okay. Ben looks at me, asking the same silent question. I still haven't told him the whole story. Laughlin, Nevada.
I caught that much.
He goes to the cooler and grabs another beer for himself and a couple of Dr. Peppers for Ben and me. Something in my chest twists, and it's ridiculous because I'm getting emotional because remember what soft drink I like. That's you again.
I guess my question is really why.
Laughlin.
Laughlin?
Yeah. I don't say anything, neither does Ben.
What? This is old May.
Yeah, they're important here.
What? Is it a secret or something?
Ben looks at me.
Apparently.
Wait, you don't know?
I'm just along for the ride.
They glare at each other. There's a lot of glaring in this for a second, and then look at me. Inside, Jerry and the kids are saying prayers, calling out a long list of people to be blessed. This is between us, I say, pointing back and forth between me and Richard and Ben.
A secret circle, or triangle, or menage a silence.
I give him a look, and then he goes solemn and promises.
Remember when I came down?
Remember when I came down and Henry was helping me with the computer thing I asked? Richard nods. We found an encrypted file on Meg's computer, and it turned out that it was instructions from the suicide support group, a group that supports your decision to end your own life. I did some digging and I uncovered her posting on these discussion boards, and there was this one guy. He was like her mentor. He encouraged her.
That's messed up.
Yeah, it is.
I can't believe Meg fell for it.
I know. But I lack the conviction on this one, because now that I know Bradford, I can believe it. So I found this guy, and now I'm going to see him.
You what?
I'm going to see him, but it comes out tepid this time.
I thought you needed to talk to someone who knew about her death, like the Seattle people.
He frowns at me, like I violated some treaty. I take a deep breath to keep my voice level. I'm talking to the people who caused her death.
Except she caused her death. That's the definition of suicide.
Richard and I glare at each other. Bradford made her do it.
Which makes going to see him a brilliant idea.
You knew I was looking for him.
I don't know shit, Cody, because for the last 6 weeks you've refused to talk to me.
I'm talking to you now. I spent the last 6 weeks trying to smoke this guy out.
And how'd you do that?
Harry helped me, but mostly it was me. I kind of posed as someone who was suicidal. You know, Me, appetizing mouse. Him, hungry steak.
Jesus fucking Christ, Cody. Are you insane?
You mean like Ben was? That shuts him up.
How does one do that? Pose as suicidal? My only experience is the opposite. Someone suicidal posing as okay.
I could bullshit. I could say I lied, made it all up, but I tell the truth. I found the part of me that was tired of living, and I put her out there. I suppose that does make me insane.
Nah, everyone goes there. Everyone has their days. Everyone imagines it. You know why my pop says suicide's a sin?
He points his thumb toward the house where Jerry is now helping Sylvia with the rest of the dishes. Because it's murder, because only God can choose when it's your time to go, because stealing a life is stealing from God, I parrot all the awful things people said about Meg.
No, because it kills hope. That's a sin. Anything that kills hope is a sin.
I chew on that for a while.
So, what do you expect to accomplish now that you've found this guy?
He has to be liable somehow, as an accessory or something.
So call the cops.
It's not that simple.
Have you told Meg's family?
You're missing the point.
None of this will bring her back. You know that, right?
Yes, I know that. That's not the point either, though the point is muddled. But I can't go to the cops or go to Meg's family. I have to do this, do something by myself, for Meg and for me.